All right, I'm going to do a quick tutorial today on how I have made my windows. You will have seen them on Instagram, or yeah, just on Instagram really. This is how I do it. All right, in this video I'm going to show you how to make some windows using a bit of mesh and all of what you see here. So the mesh that we're going to use is this stuff. It is Rapid Mesh, 600 by 900 mils. It's from the hardware store, and you get that 600 by 900 for about 20 Australian dollars. So very, very cheap, very, very easy to do. You saw the mesh before. You don't need me to show you, but you use this these snips. So these are what they call aviation cutters. These are, now it's worth getting a decent pair. These ones are actually really nice. These are made in a place called USA. I don't know where USA is. You know, if you know, then leave it in the comments down below. But USA makes very nice tools like this. So get a good pair, don't get a shitty pair, because yeah, I'm making a lot of them. Lots and lots of them. So yeah, get something that's good to use. Then you're going to use some, I guess we call them Chinese food containers in Australia. Takeaway food containers are from the supermarket. That's how I make all the windows in all my buildings and stuff. And you can see I've cut it into strips. This one has been primed with some white primer. I don't have it here. Let me see if I can get it for you though. Sorry. It is just my go-to primer, which is this stuff, flat white primer from Bunnings. Yeah, so it's been cut to size. You can cut them to whatever size you want. The reason I'm showing you this first is because this is the first thing to do, get the windows sorted. So yeah, I've cut this to size. You can see here that will fit in there. So there's a little bit of paint that's missing here, but this is the back side of the window, so you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that bit of paint. So we're going to put the glass in there with some, you can use PVA glue because PVA glue won't mist the glass, but if you want it to be that crisp clear look, yep, use PVA glue. It'll take longer to dry. I'm going to use super glue on mine because I want mine to look a little bit old and weather worn. So the big diorama piece that I'm doing is actually a sort of post-apocalyptic vibe, so it's going to be covered in dust and dirt and misted from the back anyway. So this is the back side. I'll be spraying this to make it look like it's sort of dirty. And you can see here, that's your glass. It looks like a glass panel. So let's do it. All right, so after you have made up your windows, you're going to need to get the holes for them cut. So the best way to do it is start at the bottom of your piece of cork tile where you've got a straight edge. So this is a straight edge. This is 90 degrees. Get a square, put the square at the end and run a line up there like that. I then run that, and that's the center line. So that's my center line. I then put my window on the center line and get a pen and mark around the outside of the window and go all the way up. The next thing to do after this is to cut those holes out, and for that I use a chisel and a hammer, and it is really quick and it gives you a perfect finish, and then you end up with windows. All right, next stage. You can see I've cut one out already because I forgot to hit record on the last time I tried to video this process. So here we go. Let's check that we're recording, and we are recording. Hammer and chisel. This is a chisel, this is a hammer, little hammer and a 25mm 1-inch chisel. The reason for that is it is as close to my window size as I could get, and it's as close as it needs to be. So what you do, you get your flat edge of the chisel on the outside of the window. So the beveled edge facing inwards, the flat edge outside, because you want this line to be straight up and down. Let's move that to the center there. So what I'm doing is I'm going straight down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I move to the corner again, flat edge of the chisel on the outside of the window, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure very carefully that you're lined up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, right in the middle there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, but I do. And then you just punch him out. So yeah, don't try and cut this with a scalpel. It'll take you all day and it won't be straight up and down, which is what you need. You then just get your window and you can see it's quite tight, but that's what you want. You don't want any gap around the outside. And you just force him in there, brute strength and ignorance. And there you go, windows. So you won't leave that in now, obviously, because I'll prime this. I'll stick it, obviously, once all these windows are cut out, I'll stick it onto the wall section and prime it, paint it, get all of that sort of stuff done. And then basically the last thing before weathering is to glue that window in with a little bit of super glue in there. You probably don't even need it if you've cut it right. But yeah, that's it. I'll show you where we end up in a second. There we go. Windows. Weather it in. You can put surrounds on it. You can do whatever you want. But that's where you're at with the windows at the end of the day. Thanks for watching. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. See you in the next one.